Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Nimbatus with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to a brand new update, in which we now have magnets and we have springs. Two items I am absolutely determined to weaponize. Especially the magnets, honestly. So how are we going to do this? Also, the music then was way too dramatic for what was going on. Either way, how are we going to weaponize our lovely little magnet friend here? Well, I'm considering using a decoupler, using these lovely jump thrusters, and then adding a lot of TNT. With this patch, damage from TNT now works correctly against hives as well, so hopefully bombs in the future will work far, far better, as in a previous video, it just didn't work out at all. So then, let's get to this. Sadly today, I don't really have all that much time, so all we're trying to do is prove this concept. So we have the decoupler. We then have the magnet like so, and then we're going to add 3 jump thrusters. And let's just add these like this. That should be okay. Set all of these to 1. And then we'll set the decoupler to 2, along with attract on the magnet. Let's maximize both of these. So what should happen then is when the decoupler is activated, the magnet should also be active. Yep, that works out just fine. So now what we need is a switch. There we are, perfect. So when I press 2, activate 2. Actually, what we could do then, just to make this a little bit simpler, is change this to 3. That way we can turn it off a little bit easier. Keep that on 2, as in the activate. Yep, on 3 it's a permanent, and we can also turn it off. Excellent, that's exactly what I want. So then, what we need is the ability to turn off these jump thrusters, turn them on and turn them off at will. So, let's add a NOT gate. There we are. So when 2 is not active, allow 1 to activate. That way, now, when 2 is pressed, or when 3 is pressed, it should decouple, the jump thruster should activate, and so should the magnet. And go. Perfect. Honestly, that would work with almost all missiles. However, this one now has an active magnet, which is pretty darn good. Let's move these back a little bit, and let's add one of you, a little distance sensor, on all. Do we really need 3? It looked like it was fast enough, but yeah, let's stick with 3 for now. And finally, add the weaponized element. And you can be on 4, because why not? And 4. Hello. Well, that definitely works, although we didn't really get to see it all that well. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, and it actually homed in and killed the enemy. That was perfect. It actually worked far better than I expected. Oops. I've released that into the wild. And it killed an enemy that spawned in. I am really happy with this. Ah. There's a problem, though. With that one sensor, there is a chance we'll end up with this craft being attracted to the side, and then the bomb not going off. Thankfully, of course, we can always just manually detonate it like that. Or like this. Well, the magnet missiles definitely work, so how about something like this? Being able to catch our prey almost, or an explosive ram, one of the two. Definitely looks like it would work. And then we simply manually detonate it, or we reattach the sensor. Hello there. Click. It looks like we're fishing. Now that's curious, actually. With the enemy swarms, what we could have is just have this on the bottom, something like this, at a very low altitude, And then we simply turn it on, wait for the enemies to reach us. Let's just wait for it to come back. There we are. Nope, that's not going to work. It's far too close to us. Actually, there we go. We just need to make sure it doesn't get attracted to our drone. It's like fishing with explosives. Which I think would make fishing far more fun, by the way. Just need to keep it away from the drone. Very difficult when it's that strong. Yep, it would need a much smaller radius, or perhaps less force, one of the two. But as it is, it definitely works as a throwaway weapon. The problem is, with this weaker spring, trying to get that to aim is going to be really difficult. Unless perhaps we used a motorized hinge. Now, if we do increase the strength of the spring, how will that affect this? Not that bad, actually. And it's a lot more controllable. There we are. Actually able to flip and aim this thing a little bit better. If we used a stabilized drone, I imagine this would be a lot easier. Well, it works. Well, there's something. The spring tries really hard to stabilize the orientation of itself. As you can see, even with those thrusters, this little section here just can't quite turn around. Now, what I do have are these satellite-launched missiles, which apparently just caused a load of lag there for some reason. Could we just attach a magnet to one of these two to help them aim? Probably could, honestly. Basic test. Let's see if this works out. Oh, look, an enemy! Go forth, magnet! Magnet? That didn't seem to help as much as I thought it would. Helped a little bit there. It's hard really to see it helping. It's more of a feeling when you're using it. Now, if I increase the radius, the problem is being released here is the missile will be attracted to the satellite. Yep, that's not good. But it definitely helps hit the target, so I feel like this is definitely a good thing. It definitely helps, but it does make it a bit more tricky to use. We're still learning our limitations with the magnets. I mean, really, magnets, how do they work? Yep, definitely worked then, even when I turned away. I guess that is a problem as well. They sort of reach a point of no return, then the mouse control just goes away. Now, magnet-assisted bombs, that I imagine would be really easy. All we would really need to do is have a decoupler, like so, have a magnet, like so, maybe a little bit further away, or lower the radius a little bit, and then have the bomb attached to the bottom, like so. Or, of course, do it like this. Lovely. I'm also very thankful we now can see the radius of the explosion. That really helps out when trying to prime the TNT, especially if we're going to drop multiple bombs at the same time, so that we don't end up killing them all. So, let's have a switch. Where are you? There we are. And let's put you so if I press G, you activate H, you can be H, and so can you. Probably would have helped if there was actually some gravity there, wouldn't it? Then that will simply fall down, and eventually it'll be attracted to something. Come on, enemies, go to the bomb. Okay, let's be a bit less silly now with the controls. Well, that definitely worked. Imagine dropping loads of these at once. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, then let's see if we can drop a cluster of them. Now, I do want these to be somewhat stable. I guess what we should probably do then as well is slightly lower the radius, just so we can add way more. Probably the best idea, I imagine. And there we are. If any enemies cross this section here, they will instantly have one of these lovely bombs attracted to them, in which, well, there's going to be an explosion. Enemies, want to get closer? Thank you. Are you going to detonate that for me? It'd be great if you did. Oh, look, they're hugging it. You take a long time to kill that. There we go. Then the others are just resting on the floor, waiting for some poor thing to get too close, and then... Yep. Group hug. And into the real world. Hello, enemies. Let's see how this goes. Still didn't kill the hive. A little bit surprised by that, honestly. But I guess that's what we have these weapons for. That's a pretty good weapon. EMP bullet sniper tower, really high damage, and big explosion and reflective bullets. That's kind of cool. Now here's the thing, obviously we've built this incredibly unstable, so we need to make it way better before this becomes even slightly viable. And even then, I don't see this being the best thing ever to use, especially since the hives just seem to be almost immune to the TNT damage. So one thing I'm rapidly noticing is that the magnets don't seem to be attracted to the smaller enemies, which is really, really worrying, honestly. So this is set to H, okay. Well, let's see if we can attract them while it's still attached then, just as a bit of a test. I'm hoping it works versus the smaller enemies. I'm hoping it's not only the drones. It makes sense since it's a magnet, but still. Yeah, the drones are definitely getting stuck to it, but not the smaller enemies. That's a real shame. Still an awesome item to use against various enemy types, but really disappointing at the same time. I love the idea of this killing loads of little swarmers, so to have it not actually be useful versus them. Yep, definitely, because if we were that close, yep, there we go, attached to us, and boom. It's a drone killer, essentially, not a bio killer. Once again, it makes sense being a magnet, but you can't always assume physics work in the normal ways. A thought occurs to me. Do magnets count as weapons when it comes to the Sumo arena? If not, we could have a lot of fun with the repel function. Let's find out, okay? Magnet, are you a weapon? No, you are not. Okay, maximum radius, maximum force. Let's do 4 like this. Hopefully this won't cause too many issues. Okay. Just add repel to this. Now, of course, the problem is this will also repel us, but it's going to be hilarious when it happens. It will most likely bounce us out of the arena, though. We could add jump thrust. That, I think, would be a lot of fun, but for now, let's just do it like this. Also, I have no idea why I'm building it in such a weird way. Where are you, button? There's the button. Hello, button. Are you all on W? You should be. Excellent. In that case, what I'll do, because it's just easier. Repel is W, repel is W, repel is W. And you are W. Okay. Whee! Bonk. This is gonna be weird. I could have broke it apart and then knocked us back. So the thing is with this, is the winner is always going to be the one with the most mass. It's as simple as that. There's definitely going to be ways you can actually use this properly, rather than versus something like this. I guess it would be really good versus dodging styles. Actually, yeah, let's go to the sumo training arena. So the one I just made, hello, versus our little dodge drone, which is somewhere. I really need to clear this up soon. Probably gone past it several times. Yeah, that's not working. So that was a few tests later. I probably just cut out most of that. But I've just had an idea. So no more of you. In fact, everything gets destroyed. Goodbye. Now, how about we add a decoupler? Far away as possible, thank you. Magnet on that. Perhaps several magnets on this. On repel still. Max radius, max force. Once again, this will affect us, so be very careful with this. In fact, that's going to actually knock us out of the arena straight away, so... like so. There's the maximum diameter, so we're just about to hit that, otherwise I'd move it more forwards. Shame we can't move the core a little bit further back and then stretch out this, but I guess that's just the price we're going to have to pay there. So next, loads and loads of thrusters. I think you can probably see where we're going with this. We're going to send it almost as if it's a separate drone from us. I have no idea if this is even going to work. Well, it's certainly quick. That was certainly quick. But really, are the magnets giving me that much of a boost? It does seem like it, but... realistically, we could probably just have the fuel over here detaching at the start. Without the magnets. Oh no, that's far slower. It gives us that instant acceleration. That's what the magnets are giving us. So, maybe this is a viable idea then. I mean, it worked. It's ugly as hell and definitely needs a lot of work, but the basic concept worked. So with that, I'm afraid I really am all out of time for today's video. This was just a little extra video I recorded very, very late at night, but I've had a lot of fun and I really hope you've enjoyed as well. So if you have, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Nimbatus is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Now don't worry, we are going to be doing a lot more testing with the springs in the future as well, since we basically treated them like rope in this video, and they do have a lot more potential than just that. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Magnets!